Good morning, Weston Baptist Chapel. Pastor Mark here, getting to present the sixth saying from the cross. We have been going over these past few weeks the 7 sayings from the cross, the last things that Jesus said when he was hanging on the cross, being sacrificed as the atonement for the sins of the world. In other words, he was hanging on the cross for you. And by now, I hope you've seen just how much deep meat there is in the few short words that he spoke from the cross. But today we're going to be in the book of John, chapter 19, verse 30, where we get the 6th saying of the cross. And here is what it says. When Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, "It is finished." And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. So where we're going to go with this is, number one, clearly we see that he is talking about what it is that he came onto the earth to do. It is now finished. But let's define exactly what it is that is finished. Why did he come? What mission is it that he came to do, and how was it accomplished? And exactly what does that look like? And even better, how does the Trinity actually fit into this message? Well, to get this, we go to the book of Mark. And so with this, we see that it is designed in a very specific way. It's called, an ancient Greek way of writing things, called an inclusio, which means bookend. Literally, you start with something at the beginning and you literally end with the same exact thing. It's like watching a movie such as Inception, where you see Leonardo DiCaprio sitting at the table and you wonder what's going on. Then it flashes back, and at the end of the movie, it brings it all back. And the book of Mark is designed this way, and I'm going to show you how it points forward. So we're going to go to Mark chapter number 1, reading at verse number 10. And it says, "And when he came up out of the water, immediately he saw the heavens being torn," catch that word, torn open, and the Spirit descending on him like a dove. And a voice came from heaven, "You are my beloved Son, with you I am well pleased." So here, the word in the Greek, when it talks about heaven being ripped apart, it literally means exactly that. It's not just that the heavens open gloriously and clouds moved and we have the sunlight. Like a lot of times when we see images created of us, that's what we paint in our head. And here, the Greek word literally means to be ripped open, to be shredded, to be pulled apart. And then we see that the Holy Spirit appears and manifests in the form of a dove. So here we have the Holy Spirit, we have Jesus in the water, we have the Holy Spirit coming down like a dove and landing on him. So we have the heavenly realm torn apart, the Spirit descending. And the Greek word there, when it talks about the dove, the Holy Spirit landing on him, the Greek word is is, which literally means not landing on him, but literally going into him. So heaven is torn open, Spirit goes into him, and then we have the Father saying that he is the Christ, he is the Son, and he is well pleased. All three, you have the Father, you have the Spirit, you have the Son, all three in the same exact place. But then we get to go where Jesus says it is finished. And when he said it is finished, we're going to go to now the end of the book of Mark. And it's in chapter 15, beginning at verse 37. And it says, "And Jesus uttered a loud cry and breathed his last. And the curtain of the temple was torn into from top to bottom. And when the centurion who stood facing him saw in this way he breathed his last, he said, 'Truly, this man was the Son of God.'" So there's a lot of significant things that took place here. Number one, the curtain that separated the most holiest places from everybody else would have been an extremely tall, extremely thick curtain. There is a reason that we see that it was ripped from top to bottom, because with man, with how big this curtain was, you're talking a curtain that's taller than our church. Man would have had to start at the bottom to start ripping it up. To show that this was God himself doing it, the Father doing it, he ripped from the top down, clearly indicating this is a godly move. God is the one ripping open the veil. So We have Jesus getting baptized, going into the water, him dying, and then heavens ripped open, which points from the heavens being ripped open, meaning that God is exposed, to now the veil being ripped open, showing God is exposed. Then you see that Jesus, also here hanging on the cross, ended up giving up his spirit. So it literally means the spirit that was within him now ascended up into heaven. So the same spirit that came down and went into him when he went into the water now came out of him to return back to heaven. The spirit was there moving with Jesus both ways. And we know that baptism is representation of his sacrifice on the cross, because we see that in the book of Romans, that we join him in his death when we get baptized into the water. So here we have Jesus' death, water, cross, spirit moving in and out of Christ, and the veil being ripped open, whether it be heaven in the beginning and the actual veil within the temple itself. So here is a very cool thing that took place. But more importantly, notice that when Jesus was baptized, the Father pointed out, "This is the Son of God. I am well pleased." Did you catch what happened here in the end of Mark whenever he yielded up his spirit? The way that he yielded up his spirit, the Roman soldiers, the one that he prayed for when he first went on the cross, acknowledge, "This is the Son of God." Do you see how cool these sayings from the cross actually are? So what is finished is God showed you in the beginning, I'm going to rip the veil open. You are going to receive the Spirit as you are getting baptized and joining my Son, who I am well pleased with, in his death. And then we got to see it all take place when he hung on the cross. The veil was torn open. We no longer have to rely on a high priest to offer our sacrifices and go on our behalf and have to trust that this person was going to be good enough to actually offer God our sacrifices. No, no, no. The veil was ripped open. We now have a better high priest standing in that place, and that is Jesus Christ. And he offers himself instead of animals on our behalf. We have to bring him nothing but our worship and acknowledge him as the Son of God, the same way that those Roman soldiers did. And we're going to see next week, when I get into more depth, the bringing yourselves and acknowledging him as God means you worship him. I hope these sayings from the cross have blessed you. I hope you're learning a lot, and I really hope that you're able to see just how beautiful and miraculous and supernatural this book is. But as for the rest of your Saturday, I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m., where Pastor Shane is going to again bring us a message directly from the Lord. Have a wonderful day, guys. God bless.